a Canadian radio sanctuary podcast. Now, I heard a story once from Roy Hafferly, who is a friend and colleague of yours. You became involved with airshow announcing just by hanging around the Abbotsford Airport Tower, and I believe Bob Singleton was involved.
My interest and my connection to airshow announcing actually goes back a long, long time ago to when I was just a little child living on a farm just outside the Abbotsford Airport. And I remember as a child marveling at all of the aerobatic acts and the jets and all that kind of stuff, but I always had this keen interest in airshow announcing. I thought the folks that were on the announcer stage had a pretty cool job. And I actually have a picture of me announcing the airshow while sitting on a fence post watching the airshow from my farm. I remember CF-104 Starfighters flew over, and I got very, very excited. And so I went running to find a old washing machine agitator. I grew up from a Mennonite family, and so my dad had the old philosophy that if a scrap piece of metal could be used for something, he's going to keep it. And that's exactly what this washing machine agitator was. It was sitting in a junk pile. It looked like a megaphone. I'd grab that thing. I'd go and sit on a fence post, and I'd announce the air show to the cows and to the chickens. And my parents, they always said, I always knew if you were announcing the air show because there was a little ring of rust around your lips. So that's where it started. And then growing up through the air show, listening to Bob Singleton, who's just an expert in the field. He was doing it for, or has done it for about 40-some plus years. And then I started getting involved in the air show and involved in the flying events. And I ended up landing on the announcer's tower to assist the announcers. And I thought this was a fantastic opportunity to interact with some of the heroes that I've had growing up in air show world. And so Roy's story is actually very true. I hung around on that stage, helped him out for 3 or 4 years, and I finally got the guts to say to Bob Singleton, I've always wanted to try airshow announcing. He literally turned to me and he says, well, we should do something. And I said, well, I don't know if I'm ready right this instant, but maybe next year when I've had some time to sort of prepare for it, and maybe I could give you a call. And he said, absolutely, let's do that. And so when the next air show rolled around, I called him up again or emailed him, and he was all gung-ho to make it happen. And he gave me 1 or 2 acts for me to announce, and that really was the start of my air show announcing career. At that point in time, I had no idea that Bob Singleton was actually looking for an exit strategy. He had been doing the show for over 4 decades, and he was looking to build a homegrown team of air show announcers to announce the Abbotsford show. He had Roy already, and he thought that we needed one more. And so to have Bob Singleton as my hero to start with, and then to have him say yes to giving me a shot at air show announcing, to him mentoring me, and then eventually turning the microphone over to Roy and I is such an incredible honor, especially given the tradition and history of that air show. And so, yes, it happened kind of by hanging around the announcer stage and also having 2 mentors that were willing to give this guy a shot. I didn't have a radio experience. I had a performing arts background, but I had a fascination with air shows and I had passion for aviation as well. And a few years after that, after I got some practice, Roy said to me, we should look at doing a 2-man announcing team. And I don't think I knew it at the time, but I think Roy was eventually looking for an exit strategy as well. And so he took me under his wing, started introducing me to a bunch of different air shows and producers, and I have I have all sorts of great thanks and appreciation to Roy for helping me get my start in air show announcing.
The 2 of you doing the air shows together, are you just involved at the Abbotsford level, or do you do some of the out-of-town ones as well?
Over the years, I've started to head out of town as well, and so in the last few years, COVID accepted, I've been doing about 9 or 10 shows a year, and that's taken me across Canada as well as down through the Western United States. So in 2022, I'm looking at doing 10 shows that will take me basically coast to coast. And I have the opportunity, the honor, and the privilege of announcing some of Canada's major air shows, including Cold Lake, Edmonton, Atlantic Canada, Toronto, and many others. And Abbotsford, of course. And hopefully, Celebration of Light goes ahead. I'd love to go back to that event because they usually have some kind of air show act as part of the festivities down there. So, yeah, it started in Abbotsford for the first few years, and then it started to grow out of that to doing shows in Western Canada to now going across Canada. I feel like I'm the luckiest guy on the earth.
You know what? If you can do what you love to do, a labor of love, then you've got it made.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, Ken, really appreciate chatting with you today, and take care.
Yes, thank you very much, John. I appreciate it. Thank you.